Hi, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Crystal Fry, and it is my pleasure to be here with you all tonight, as I am every Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say hello and welcome to everyone who is joining us live. And for those of you who are watching in the replay, welcome, welcome. Those of you who are watching live, both here on Facebook and over on YouTube, do me a favor, go ahead and say hello as you come in so that I can say hello back to you and greet you properly. Tonight's topic, I believe, is quite a fun one. It is, what did I call it? Who or what is leading you? And this was actually inspired earlier this evening by a leadership talk. Having a conversation about what is good leadership, what qualities, what characteristics does good leader possess, what does bad leadership look like? And oftentimes leadership is taken in the context of, like a corporation, like corporate leaders or a job or things of that nature, oftentimes political arenas, your political leaders, things of that nature, even your church leaders and people in that status, right? People who we often consider as leaders. Well, that kind of got me thinking a little bit as we were talking about all of those different qualities and what does it take to be a good leader and how can you either develop your skills as a leader or how can you recognize those skills in others. The thought occurred to me that while we pay so much attention to the external leaders in our lives and our societies around the world, however you want to look at it, the question really kind of started to pique my curiosity of, well, then who or what is leading you? And of course, when I said you, I was talking to myself, was an internal question. But who or what is leading you? What is it or who is it that you are allowing to lead you down your path? Who are you looking to? Who are you taking, who is your example? Who are you modeling your behavior after? Who are you modeling your decisions after? Whose advice are you seeking? Whose counsel do you seek? Several weeks ago, I talked about your personal board of directors and who should be on it and all that kind of good stuff. That all ties into this as well. Who or what is leading you? And even better of a question, do you know who or what is leading you? Have you taken the time to examine the influences of your life? Who has an impact on your decision making? Whose advice do you seek when you have an issue or a problem? Do you look to yourself to lead in those types of situations? Do you look to yourself for the decisions that need to be made? Or do you let someone else make them for you? Do you let your circumstances lead you down the path instead of forging your own, regardless of your circumstances? Do you feel like you are sitting there stuck because there's nothing else that you can do because you do not take ownership or you are not in a position of leadership within your own life? And ladies and gentlemen, if that's where you are right now, listen, I get it. I get it wholeheartedly. I get it 100%. I get it completely. I've been there. I've been a spectator in my own life. I've been a follower in my own life, not the person leading it. And that's really difficult when you make the realization that you're not the one driving the bus, that you're not the one who's making the decisions. You're allowing decisions to be made that impact you. And you realize that you're not the one who's raising your voice to make those decisions that directly impact you and your life. It's kind of it's a difficult feeling to wrestle with, to realize that you are not the one who's making the decisions. That's frustrating. It is difficult, but it is manageable. And you have the ability to set boundaries, to take ownership, to become the leader that you need to be in your own life. You likely are not going to be able to do it by yourself, though, because you're in that position now because of habits and thought patterns and all kinds of other fun things that have led you up to this point. Anyone who has followed me for any length of time has at some point on some video heard me say, you are where you are because of the choices you've made or allowed others to make for you. When we don't exercise our own gift of leadership within our own life, when we are not leading ourselves, when we are not forging the path, when we are not seeking wise counsel, when we are not sitting in meditation and prayer to get the answer to the question of what's the next step, when we're allowing others all around us to make all of those decisions for us, and we are just simply a spectator in our own lives, you don't fulfill purpose that way. Because unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, fortunately, none of us were created to be doormats. I feel like I need confetti poppers when I say things like that, because a lot of people need to hear that and need to know that. Because you weren't created to be a doormat. You weren't created to be used. You weren't created to give of yourself until you are completely depleted without ever getting anything in return, without ever being able to fill yourself back up with meaningful and purposeful work and service. It's just not how we were created. You know, if you think about the ocean, how it comes in and out, right? The tides come in, the tides go out. The water, the waves, they come in and out, right? They hit the beach, they go back out. Hit the beach, go back out. Ebb and flow. That is how we are created. We are not created to simply take. We're not created as just consumers. We are also not created as bottomless pitchers that all we do is pour out. There is a beautiful ebb and flow to it. There is a give and a take. And that is how we find fulfillment. We find that beautiful balance of give and take. So what does that have to do with leadership? And asking the question, who or what is leading you? It's a really important question for you to ask yourself and answer honestly. It may not be an answer you want to hear, and that's okay too. Been there. I survived, and so can you. But the important thing is to ask that question. What is leading you? Who is leading you? Are you being led by your values and your beliefs? Are you being led by your faith? Are you being led by, what is important to you? And what is important to you? Do you know what your core values are? Do you know what your non-negotiables are? Do you know the answer to that question? If you don't, let me know. Let's have a conversation about that. One of the most incredible things to ever happen to me in my life was for me to actually discover me, was for me to actually find the real me, the crystal that God created and put on this planet to do his good work. The most amazing thing that's ever happened in my life was for me to find that woman, for me to find me. Not the woman that I thought people needed me to be, not the woman that I thought people wanted me to be, not the woman that I thought people wanted to see, not the woman who thought she had to have everything together and be a great wife and a great mom and a great employee and a great student and a great this and a great that and great at everything, and I could never fail because then I wouldn't be perfect, right? Because if you fail, you're not perfect. Again, one of the greatest gifts is realizing that none of those things, none of those women that I was trying to be to make everyone else happy, none of those women were me. They all had bits and parts and pieces of me, but none of them were the whole. And so the greatest gift to me was being able to discover the whole, right? I know this weird movie is now playing in my head about a circle, but I digress. So, but that's the thing, like when you are a whole person, when you know exactly who you are, without question and without apology, I want to make that very clear, because I see a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this myself. I see a lot of people who apologize for who they are, especially when they begin to come into who that person is. When they begin to set boundaries, when they begin to stop tolerating behavior that they have tolerated in the past, when they get up off the floor and are no longer a doormat, that is oftentimes when I see people begin to apologize for who they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this right now. If you ever feel the need to apologize for who you are because you think it's making someone else uncomfortable, stop. Because when you step into that place where you are living as the full expression of yourself, when you are living as the full expression of the creature that God created you to be, you don't apologize for that. Because that is you. And you should never apologize for who you are. You should never apologize for that. I understand the draw. I understand the reaction, the immediate reaction to want to apologize. You guys, I used to apologize for everything. Everything. Things that didn't have anything to do with me, I apologized for them. I apologized for who I was. I apologized if I did or said or, thought something that I felt was not in alignment with what I was supposed to be at that particular moment. I apologized for everything. I apologized for who I was. I apologized for the fake me. I apologized for the real me. I apologized for everything. Stop apologizing for who you are. If you are standing firm in who you are, in all that you were created to be, if your light is shining and it hurts someone else's eyes, don't apologize for it. They can get sunglasses. Or they can turn up the volume on their own light, and the two of you can shine really bright together. Never apologize for who you are. Never dampen your light so that it doesn't shine so brightly in someone else's eyes, because that's not who you were made to be. So I am going to wrap up with that. I want to thank all of you again for joining me here live. And those of you who are joining in the replay, don't forget to use the hashtag replay and let me know where you are watching from. And don't forget to take some time to answer that question. Who or what is leading you? So until next time, I will see you all. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. I hope the weather is great wherever you are, and you have an opportunity to rest, relax, and reflect and be refreshed. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care.